Weakness to warrior mindset. Today, harmonica chat. Topic of the day, practice. Today I'm going to talk about scale practice. Like the major pentatonic scale, the no bend blues scale, the blues scale, the minor scale, all the musical scales that are out there and how to practice. First, you have to be able to blow clean single notes. So if you're not at that stage, that's where you need to practice. You need to start slow and practice. Go up the freaking harmonica, go down the harmonica. 1 to 10, slowly. Invest in a metronome. If you can't buy a metronome, download a metronome online and set it at the slowest speed and practice. Practice hitting that single note on the beat of that metronome. And you keep going. Do this slowly, as slow as you possibly can, so that it starts to register in your mind. I would say, like every time you go up the metronome, or every time you go up the harmonica from 1 to 10, once you're at 10, stop for about 5 seconds so it can process into your mind. And then start at 10 and then go down. And then stop at 10, stop for 5 to 10 seconds. So that you can take that break so that your mind can absorb all that information and catalog it in your mind. Once you can go, I'd say about 5 minutes with no mess ups, then you bump the metronome up 20 beats. So I believe 40 on my metronome. 40 is the lowest beats that you can go per minute. Bump it up to 60. Go until you can get that 5 minutes again. And you bump it up another 20 minutes. That's just for the single chord progression, for the single notes. Now for the scales are the same way. But you got to be able to pick a scale that's congruent with your freaking ability. If you can't bend on the harmonica, there's no reason that you need to learn how to play the blues scale, because it's got bends in it. Pick one specific technique and stick with it. That's why I'm on this video, or recording this video, talking about scales. Practice your scales. Once you can effortlessly play the scales up and down, not miss a beat, then you won't have to think about it. You'll know instantly what the space is between freaking notes, what the sound of the note is. That way you can jump from a freaking blow 7 to a draw 3. And you'll know you're hitting it because you know how many spaces, and you'll know if you're on the right note just by the way it sounds. It's also called ear training, and obviously dexterity and mind-hand coordination. It's not eye and hand because you can't really see the freaking harmonica. So, which makes it just a little bit more difficult. As far as like certain other instruments, you can look down to see if you're hitting the right key on the piano, putting your fingers on the right string, whatever the levers are called on a saxophone and whatnot. You just have to go by ear. So it's ear training. Now the scales will dictate what type of songs you can play. Only certain songs and certain scales can be played. You can't play freaking gospel on the blues scale. You can try. I mean, as long as you have the notes, it won't sound very gospel-y, but it'll sound very freaking bluesy. So, technically you can, but in reality, it's gospel, not blues. So, there's that. So I recommend finding out what a metronome is. If you don't know what a metronome is, I suggest you get a freaking harmonica. Make sure it's a Hohner Special 20 in the key of A or C. Those are the most popular. Well, actually, probably C is the most popular if you're wanting to play freaking blues. Nowadays, they have payment plans. So you can get on any website and get some fucking payment plan where you pay like fucking $6 a week or some shit like that. And get yourself a fucking harmonica. And then just start. Pick a class. Pick a genre of music. Whether you want to play folk, polk, blues, bluegrass, pop, reggae, or jazz. You know all the genres, country, whatever. And you just pick a genre of music. And then you start to learn how to play that freaking song. Or play the harmonica. And go slow. Just like freaking anything in the fucking life, it takes time to master things. It takes time to get good at something. And that's where discipline comes in. That's where consistency comes in. And that's where to do the things when nobody's looking and no one's there holding you accountable. You set your practice time. You freaking don't falter. Like I practice my scales now since I'm in this new freaking class with Harmonica Revolution. Some of you, it's not for you because you don't have that experience. It's only for people that has been like playing the harmonica for a year or so. And it's not freaking, that sort of thing where it's only the picking chooses. No, the teacher sets the rules. He's the one that built the freaking curriculum, so he gets to pick and choose. Just like service can be refused to anybody for any reason is nowadays. So don't get all butthurt if you don't freaking get accepted. Because he's there to teach his sort of thing. And he doesn't really have time to be able to babysit you through the entirety of the freaking classes and shit. Because then that'll take time away from his other students that know what the hell they're doing. And took the time and put the freaking hard work in to get to where they want. So they can progress. That's just the way shit works. You can't expect to go from playing freaking NASCAR on the fucking PlayStation to being in the Daytona 500. It doesn't work that way. You gotta work your way up. That's the same way with the harmonica. Believe me. I want to be able to fucking rip on the harmonica as much as the next person in the class. But I knew I have to put time. I have to put effort into it. And it would be cheapening. It would steal from the experience if I could just, click my fingers one day and be like, well, now I can play the freaking harmonica like a freaking badass. It would take away from the learning process. It would take away from me as a person in character development and personal sacrifice. That's what people act like. If anybody, that's why when people win the lottery, everyone's out there with their fucking hands out because they know they didn't earn it. They just got it. They got it lucky. And what happens? 90% of the time when people win the lottery, 5 years later they're fucking broke. Why? Because they didn't appreciate that money because they got it instantly. They go out and buy all kinds of stupid shit and don't plan for the future and live like a fucking 10 millionaire when they have only won $1 million. Like, people are so stupid. You did everything right. Winning $1 million, you could live. You invest it right, You know, you live below your means. And don't talk to me about the economy and shit. Yeah, and you do it right, you could be well off for a while. Go back to the harmonica thing. The harmonica chat. Make sure you do these things. Make sure you set time aside to practice at least 10 minutes a day. At least 10 minutes a day is better than no minutes. 10 minutes today means you're going to be 10 minutes better tomorrow. I mean, there is a fine line to where too much practicing and you get a diminishing return. That's why you keep your sessions 10 to 30 minutes long. Now, you can do that multiple times a day. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to practice for 2 hours, you're going to get diminishing returns. You're just going to get progressively worse. Because you're going to start out semi, you're going to get to that bell curve where everything's hitting right, and then it's just going to go downhill from there. So when you practice and you start to get in a good stride, you start to keep getting that good stride, and then as soon as you start to feel yourself slipping, stop. As soon as you start to notice that you're not doing as well as you did before, stop. Walk away. Take some time off, go rest. Go to the gym. Get your steps in or something. Just stop. And then come back to it later. Or just sleep on it. You'd be surprised at how much better you get in a day when you just stop. You sleep on it. Your mind has that time to process the information. You know, create those new neural pathways in your brain. The next day you'd be surprised that you might be able to go like a minute longer on your freaking good streak. You build that up over time, you know, you get better 1 minute every day. 30 days, that's a half fucking hour that you're better. Stack those wins. Get progressively better over time by 1%. Again, people want shit now. I want it now, like that fucking girl, Willie and the Wonka. I want it now. I want it now. Yeah, you see what happened to her. Who won the prize? The humble poor kid. And that's what you have to do to yourself. You have to humble yourself. And just know that I may not be good today, but God damn it, I'm going to work my heart out and work my ass off to get better at it. And that day will come. It's inevitable. So take all the advice that I have given and get out there and go get yourself a harmonica and start being a freaking badass. Take all those lessons. Get out there, put yourself out there, and don't be afraid. Build your inner strength. Spread your wings and fly. And don't forget, get up off the couch and start to turn yourself from weakness to warrior mindset.